so moving on to lesson 8.2. Yesterday you were being able to locate the zeros. And then the other thing you did is you learned how to find the axis of symmetry, which is a vertical line, which you are finding in an equation. Today we're going to be looking for the vertex of the parabola, which is an ordered pair. It's a point on the graph. So when we're finding the vertex of a parabola from the equation, first thing we're going to do, step 1, is find the axis of symmetry to get the x value of the vertex. Because what do we say is true about the axis of symmetry? It always goes through what? Always goes through the middle of the parabola, which means if it's going through the middle, it's always going through the... What's in the middle of a parabola, whether it's opening up or it's opening down? It's got to go through the vertex. So that means if it's going through the vertex, that point, that vertex, that ordered pair of that vertex, it has the same x value as every other point on that axis of symmetry. So if we found the axis of symmetry to be x equals 4, we would be able to say that the vertex has an x value of 4. So yesterday when you were finding the axis of symmetry and you got x equals 1/6, that would mean that the x value of the vertex is what? If you found, for an equation, Brian, that the axis of symmetry was x equals 1/6, what do you think that would tell you the x value is for the vertex? It's 1/6. Whatever x is equal to, all the points on that axis of symmetry have that x value. The axis of symmetry is going through the vertex, so it has to have that x value then. So if you find the axis of symmetry to be negative, x equals -7, what would the x value of the vertex be? Levi?
I'm not sure.
Garcia?
Wait, repeat that again. That's what I'm wondering.
If the axis of symmetry is x equals -7, what would the x value of the vertex be?
-7.
-7. We're just going to keep trying this until we get this, in here. So let me even draw a nice little picture here of what I'm talking about. Let's say I have, here's my parabola, and the axis of symmetry is typically drawn as a dashed line. And I say to you that the axis of symmetry for this particular parabola, the axis of symmetry is x equals 3. What would the x value of that vertex be?
3.
3. Because every point on that line has to have an x value of 3. So does the vertex. So step 1 today, we're going to find the axis of symmetry. Well, what did we have to use yesterday to find the axis of symmetry from an equation? What did we have to use? Negative b over 2a. We used that little formula. X equals negative b over 2a. So we're going to use that little formula, first of all, to find the axis of symmetry. Then we're going to say, okay, well that means now that's the x value of the vertex. So step 2, we'll substitute that x value into the equation. So wherever there are x's in the equation, we'll put that number in, and we will get it simplified down. We will get it evaluated for y. And then we'll have our x value and our y value from our vertex, and we can write it as an ordered pair, just as if we were going to have the graph to look at. Okay, so we are actually doing number 4 on page 534 of the check it out column, but I already have it written here, so you really don't need to open your books to it. Why am I only worried about identifying the A and the B right now?
That's all you need to go into practice.
Yeah, that's all we need to do for that formula in step 1. Because remember, in step 1, we're going to use this formula, x equals negative b over 2a. We're going to find the axis of symmetry. So, what is the a value? 1. And what's our b value? -4. Yeah. So when the quadratic function is in standard form, which it is, then we can identify the a and the b, and now we can substitute them in and find our axis of symmetry. So negative, and then our b is upstairs, and 2 times 1 is downstairs. So we get x equals a negative, and we have a -4 over 2.
Simplifies down to -2.
And that simplifies down to, so that negative sign is still tagging along. This negative sign keeps tagging along, and a -4 divided by 2 is -2.
What's positive 2?
So we end up with x equals +2. There's our axis of symmetry. So the negative sign that is part of the formula just keeps coming along till the end, and then we say, okay, after we finally have divided out our b divided by 2a, once we've divided that out, and that negative sign is out front of that, now we're ready to say, okay, can I simplify that? So -2, or the opposite of -2 is +2. So there's our axis of symmetry. I want you to put that in your notes that we really just found. I don't want you to forget that this is how we find the axis of symmetry. That's what that is really representing. Well, if that is our axis of symmetry, what did we just say a little bit ago about the axis of symmetry always goes through the vertex? So then what do we now know?
No, just kidding.
What do we really just, what does this also tell us?
That's where the vertex is.
Okay, it's going to go through the vertex.
That's our x point.
That's our x value of our vertex, isn't it? Yeah. So we're basically saying then that we have now found the x value of the vertex. So we are going to now put that 2 into our step 2. We're going to take that 2, which is our x value of the vertex. We're going to do step 2 now, where we substitute it into the equation and get our y value. So we have to put 2 in for x wherever it is in the equation. Two squared is, why are you guys opening your calculator? Seriously, 2 squared is 4. Stop your mushy brains. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, I can change this to add the opposite and make it a lot easier to do it without a calculator. When it's addition, can we add them in any order we want? Yeah, let's add those negatives together first. What's -8? What's -10? -18. What's -18? Plus 4. -14. So we are saying y equals -14. So what is it? What's that y value representing? What is it? The y of the what?
Vertex.
Vertex. Okay, so what is our vertex then? 2, -2. The x value that we got.
Did you say 2?
Not 2, -2. 2,
-14.
-14. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say. Well, this is easy. Yeah, it is very easy.
So on a graph, we could count on this parabola. Okay, stop working ahead. Stay with me right now. We're gonna process all the things we know about this quadratic function now. We know that it's gonna make its turn where? At 2, -14. What else can you tell me about this, the graph, if we have to, because that's what's coming next. We're going to be graphing after the semester final. So what else can you tell me about the graph of this right now?
Opens upward.
That it opens up. How do we know it opens up, Garcia?
A is positive.
A is positive. We have a positive A
Vertex
value.
is then on the x-axis.
Is the vertex on the x-axis? No. If it was on the x-axis, how would we know whether it was on the x-axis or not?
2 and 0.
It'd have to be have a y value of 0, and we didn't get 0 for y, did we? So what do you think right now? Do you think there are, how many zeros do you think this has? Stop working ahead and process with me.
0.
How many zeros do you think this graph has?
0.
2.
Okay, let's think about where would this vertex be in the coordinate plane. So in the coordinate plane, where would that be?
Just kidding.
Would it be down in here, over here somewhere? Yeah, probably be like down here somewhere is our vertex. And it opens what? And it opens up So it's going to have how many zeros?
2.
It's going to have 2 zeros.
And
It's going to have. So those are things we know right now without even graphing it. But that is going to be the next thing that they're going to expect of us to know, that we knowing some of these things. How can we pull it together to be able to make a graph now for the quadratic function? Okay. Okay. Now let's go to the back side. And I say, find the vertex of the parabola for y equals 1/2 x squared plus 2x plus 3. Not always are our a, b, and c's nice integer values. Sometimes they're fractions. And so we got to know how to work with those too. Okay. So what do you think might be a good thing to do?
Write down the thing about x equals
The a and the b?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need the a and the b, don't we? So a equals 1/2. And b equals 2. Do we need c? Not right now. We don't. There's not for this. What we're doing today. We just need the a and the b value. Okay. What is our first move going to be?
Put it in the equation. Put it in x equals negative.
Use your formula.
Yeah, our little formula. X equals negative b over 2a. That's what I thought you meant. Okay. So we're going to say that negative sign is out front, and then we have 2 over 2 times 1/2. Okay, now we can simplify that denominator. What is 2 times 1/2? 1.
Is it okay if I put the 1/2 and then I put the 2 in parentheses?
Sure. Multiplication allows you to do it in either order, so it does not matter for multiplication. Okay, and then if we have a 2 over 1, that negative sign's still just coming along. What's 2 divided by 1?
Or 2.
2. So we now end up with x equals negative 2, don't we? What is that again?
The
Vertex. Or the
symmetry.
The axis of symmetry, which then the axis of symmetry tells us
we're across or with the vertex.
what part of the vertex does it tell us? What part of the vertex does it give us?
The x value.
The x value of the vertex, so step 2. So we now know the x value of the vertex is negative 2. So we just found in step 1. We now know that the x value of the vertex is negative 2. So now what do we do in step 2?
Plug the x in.
Plug the x into the equation so that we can get the
Y.
y value. Okay, so let's substitute in our y equals 1. I'm going to write the equation down first. 1/2 x squared plus 2x. What's the end of it? Plus 3. Thanks for the help. Okay. Equals 1/2 times negative 2 squared plus 2x, 2 times negative 2 plus that 3. I don't want you using your calculators because we can do this with, can be done very easily without. What do we do first here? Do we take half of negative 2? We square the negative 2 first. So we have 1/2 times what? 4.
Plus negative 4.
Positive 2 times negative 2 is negative 4.
Or yeah, negative 4, not plus 3.
Okay.
Plus negative 4.
Half of 4 is
0.
2. Okay. We could take this negative 4 and this plus 3 and we could add those together right now in this step also. What's negative 4 plus 3? Negative 1, okay. And 2 plus negative 1 is
1.
positive 1, right? So y equals 1.
Oh, no.
No, that's not quite our answer. We're still not done. Step 3 is Identify the vertex.
How
And
did you?
it is, what? Negative 2, 1, negative 2.
Oh, I forgot my negative.
One.
Something really easy.
Okay, so any questions or concerns? Only making you do 6 of them, but let's make sure we do them accurately right away from the beginning so that we don't have to go back and rework them.